Let me say this. I look a mess. I can't help how I look through all that I'm going through. I think through this process, I probably have aged 10 years. I know it'll get better one day. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I know this. I just got to share this story. I have a friend, a very close friend of mine, that is dying. He have an illness that is killing him. He knew my grandson and everything, and I just got out of the middle of what I'm going through. Excuse me, like I said, I smoke. To check on him because he had been going back and forth to the doctor, and he's on dialysis now, so he's going through a lot. How you doing? He's going through a lot. So he was sharing with me, while I was sharing with him. He was sharing to me as to what the doctor had just told him, and what the doctor has just said to him is that we can do no more. We're done all we can do. And we were sharing with each other what we're going through. And, we've been knowing each other some years now. And I would have never thought at my age, this is not what I had planned for my life. And that was not what he had planned for his either. And I told him, I said, with what I'm going through with my grandson's murder, I thought it was just the most devastating thing. But what he's going through is even more devastating because he's dying. I told him I don't have the words. I don't know what the words to say other than make sure your family have my phone number, and if you need anything from me, call me. This world, a lot of sad things are happening in this world, and people are experiencing some devastating things. And with all the things that's going on around us, people, it's easy to put your head in the sand if everything is going okay, and you kind of focus only on that to kind of keep yourself from feeling these type of feelings. But it's affecting so many people in so many ways. Now, you might not lose your loved one the way I lost mine, but there will be crisis that comes in all of our lives. As a sister said to me this morning and wrote on Facebook that said, the world is in its last days. And, when you read in Revelations, it scares you. A lot of people don't like to read Revelations, but I would suggest that we all do. Because in Revelations, it also tells you everything that's going to come about. And I can see it coming into manifestation. But the thing is, it tells you how to and what's going to take to get through it. Only Christ's children, only God's children, only those that are following him are going to survive. The ones that's going to be left behind, they're going to be left behind because Jesus is going to walk this earth again. He's going to call his out of her. He's going to pick his up on the way, and then the rest of the world will burn. Because sin and stuff is so great. People are more important than God and Christ, now. They want so much recognition. Everybody wants to be where God is. And we don't want to humble ourselves to his ways. What he's taught us to follow him. Because we all going to leave here. That's real. Nobody's going to live forever. No matter how wealthy they are. Some wealthy movie stars and things like Michael Jackson, some of the others, even though they aided in their deaths. But, with all the money they had, didn't save their life. Even they buried them with gold, and they put gold around their graves and the gold caskets, and they got to have security at the grave site because somebody have tried to break in and take all the thousands of dollars they spent on them and put them in the ground. But it still will not bring them back because all of us have to go to that spiritual world one day. Now, I hate to say that it's not a spiritual world and find out that it is. I know that Christ is keeping me and been keeping me strong for many years now. And I'm not a saint. I'm smoking. You see that, right? So, God don't like smoking. That to show you that we all sin. But somewhere I read in the Bible, he said, keep your sins confined to yourself. Don't hurt others. And I do not, and I will not hurt others. If I can't help you, I'm surely not going to do anything to hurt you. That's me. But this journey that I'm on right now, this plight that I'm standing up for right now, and trying to live with the pain of my grandson has been very, 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 very challenging and has taken a lot from me, as you can see in my face. The pain, the agony, the aging. Now I could go pile up a bunch of makeup on my face and come out and look cute and all that. But at this time in my life, it's not about that for me. It's about bringing justice for my grandson and for other murdered children out here, to try to get the killers off the street, to save someone else from running into the same people, because they're out there, because they're still roaming around doing what they want to do. And I don't feel it's that they're still here to live whatever life they're living, and that's not really life if you run around killing people. Miserable souls. They're in torment, actually. They can't feel very good about themselves. That's why they keep doing what they're doing, because they can't feel very good about themselves with the things that they're doing, taking people's lives. They probably never forget the last moment that Marty looked up at them as they killed him. His last breath, he took what he went through before he died. That's going to come to them all the time. They're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to answer to it with Christ. It's going to come to their subconscious. They're not going to ever forget what they've done. They're going to have to live with that for the rest of their life. Now, I may be living with pain, too, for missing my grandson, but I'd rather be on this side living with it for missing my grandson rather than doing something like that to somebody, have to confront that one day. All consciousness will rise. God said you would run behind a rock and the rock will cry out, here he is, or here she is. Everything you ever done, evil and bad, will come to your attention one day. You'll have to stand before it and look at it eye to eye and know that it's you that did it. Whatever you have done that's evil. So I try to promote this. My daughter has become overwhelmed. She shut out for a while on Facebook. I understand where she is, because it is overwhelming. But I have to push forward for her, for Marty, for his father, to try to get justice for him. I can't stop. That's just something I just have to do for me, for him. I have to. And to save others. But I'm going to keep pushing this. But, I'm too kind of feeling, because I'm tired of trying to talk to our people and convince our people to stand up with us. There's so many people that don't want to be supportive to help with anything other than their own lives and their self. And then we've become so selfish. People are not, picking this thing up. They have any kind of authority to be able to take it even further and get it recognized. I got to do this work, and I will do this work. Excuse me. To get it recognized. That's my plight today. That's my purpose. This pain is severe. As I said, you can see it in my face. You look at my pictures. Since this has happened, I've aged 10 years. It's okay, though. Because for me now, at this day and time, it should be for everybody. Everybody should be trying to come back to what they know is right and trying to do the right things and help each other. Time is near, and people may say, they said that so many times, they've been saying that. But if you look at the handwriting on the wall, and I suggest everybody read Revelations, you will see it yourself. Now, I'm not saying it's going to come tomorrow. He says we don't know day or time. Okay. That's real. We don't know date or time. But I tell you this, just imagine if the time is tomorrow and you're not ready. What you going to do then? Even for those that don't believe, something is going on. Because everything is so strange in this world now. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. You can't feel safe in a grocery store. You can't feel safe in a shopping center. You can't feel safe in a church now. So that should tell you something. So all those that's running from it and don't want to confront it, don't want to face it, it'll come to you too one day. How it's going to come, I don't know. But I know this, try to be ready when it does. So everybody need to kind of work on their subconscious and their minds and try to open up their eyes and see and stop trying to run and think it's all about getting high and drunk and hitting the streets and doing a lot of things to keep yourself from facing reality. Because reality is going to come to you whether you're ready to accept it or not. just like I said, I'm coming to the point now. I have to accept that my grandson is gone. It's not easy. I'm still kind of in shock, and I'm definitely still grieving. But I'll come to acceptance one day, and I'll begin to let him rest. But I still will push to try to find his killers. But if it get to be a point where I'll just have to let it go, then that's what I'll have to do, and know that God has got it. But I'll do everything I can. At least I can rest knowing that I've tried. At least I have given that, and others need to think about that as well. Thank you.